Good day everyone. Today, we will discuss an exciting and innovative field of science, the genetic technology. This technology plays a significant role in medicine, agriculture, and scientific research. Join us as we explore how genetic technology is shaping the future. Ano nga ba ang genetic technology? Ang genetic technology ay isang makabagong larangan ng agham na nag-aaral at nagmamanipula ng DNA upang mapabuti ang medisina, agrikultura at sayantipikong pananaliksik. Narito ang ilan sa mahalagang bagay nito. May 5. Una, gene editing. Hindi ito ang iniisip nyo na alak na gene. Ito ay isang makabagong teknolohiya na nagbibigay daan sa mga sayantipiko na baguhin ang mga gene ng mabilis at eksakto. Ginagamit sa medisina upang lunasan ang mga sakit na dulot ng depektibong genes tulad ng sickle cell anemia at iba pang namamanang sakit. Sa agrikultura naman, ginagamit ito upang makalikha ng mas matibay na pananim laban sa peste at sakit. Pangalawa, genetic engineering. Proseso ng pagbabago sa DNA ng isang organismo upang makamit ang nais na katangian. Halimbawa nito ay ang genetically modified organism o GMO. Sa agrikultura, kung saan pinapalakas ang ani at resistensya ng halaman laban sa peste. Sa larangan ng medisina, ginagamit ito sa paggawa ng synthetic insulin para sa mga may diabetes. Pangatlo, gene therapy. Proseso ng pagpapalit o pagbabago ng genes upang magamot ang sakit. Ginagamit din sa mga sakit tulad ng cystic fibrosis, kanser at iba pang namamanang kondisyon. May 2 uri. Ito ay una, somatic gene therapy para sa isang individual lamang o hindi na ipapasa sa sumusunod na henerasyon. Pangalawa, germline gene therapy. Nagpapabago ng genes sa sperm o egg cells, kaya maaaring ipasa sa susunod na henerasyon. At ang pang-4, DNA sequencing and genomics. Ginagamit upang maunawaan ang buong genetic code ng isang tao, hayop o halaman. Mahalaga sa personalized medicine, kung saan ang mga gamot at paggamot ay inaangkop sa genetic profile ng isang pasyente. Ginagamit din sa ancestrized testing at forensic science upang matukoy ang pinagmulan ng isang individual o tukuyin ang isang kriminal. At panghuli, cloning and synthetic biology. Ang cloning ay proseso ng paggawa ng eksaktong kopya ng isang organismo o selula tulad ng sikat na kaso ni Dolly the Sheep. Ang synthetic biology naman ay paglikha ng mga bagong biological na bahagi upang makagawa ng biofuel, gamot at iba pang produkto. And ibabahagi din ng mga aking kagrupo ang iba pang layunin ng genetic therapy.
My name is Donna Migoron, 19 years old. Ang nakasign po sa akin na i-discuss ko ay genetic engineering. Genetic engineering, or better known as recombinant DNA technology, is a process in which the genetic material of an organism is changed. Ginagawa ito pangalisin ang mga hindi kanais-nais na katangian o kaya magdagdag ng mga bagong katangian na nais makuha. Genetic engineering has many uses, such as increasing food production from plants and animals, helping to eliminate industrial waste, diagnosing diseases, improving medical treatments, and making vaccines and other important drugs. Example of application using genetic engineering are breeding crops that are more resistant to pests and diseases, or making animals grow faster or provide more food products. In the field of medicine, genetic engineering is also used to produce new drugs and vaccines, as well as to treat genetic disorders. Sa kabila ng mga benepisyo, may mga kontrobersya at mga ethical concerns din na kaakibat ng genetic engineering tulad ng mga epekto nito sa kalikasan at kalusugan ng tao. Ngunit sa pangkalahatan, patuloy na lumalaki ang paggamit nito sa iba't ibang larangan upang mas mapabuti ang buhay ng tao.
Good morning everyone, I'm Mike Adrian A. Labsan. Today I'm going to discuss about genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. It is alternating of an organism, genetic or hereditary material to eliminate undesirable characteristic or to produce desirable new ones. It is used to increase plant and animal food production, to help dispose of industrial waste, to diagnose diseases, improve medical treatment, and to produce vaccine and other useful drugs.
My name is Angelo Entadifa. Ang na-assign sa akin ay Techniques of Genetic Technology. Techniques of Genetic Technology. Genetic technology involves method used to study, change, and control genes in living organisms. These technologies help in fields like medicine, agriculture, and crime solving. Now, we'll look at some important techniques. CRISPR, gene therapy, PCR, and gene cloning. And here's the genetic technology techniques. The first one is CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR is a tool that lets scientists cut and change specific parts of DNA. It works like scissors that can remove, add, or change genes. CRISPR is used to treat diseases, improve crops, and may one day cure genetic disorders. However, it raises questions about how far we should go in changing human genes. Next one is polymerase chain reaction or PCR. PCR is a technique that makes many copies of a small piece of DNA, so scientists can study it easily. It is used in medicine for disease diagnosis, in crime scenes to match DNA, and in research to understand genes. Next one is gene therapy. Gene therapy involves adding or changing genes inside a person's cell to treat or cure diseases. It can replace faulty genes with healthy ones. While gene therapy has helped with diseases like cystic fibrosis, there are challenges like delivering the gene safely to the right cells. Lastly, gene cloning. Gene cloning makes copies of specific genes. This is done by inserting a gene into a cell and letting it reproduce. It is used to create medicines like insulin and to produce genetically modified crops with better traits, such as resistance to pests.
My name is Jomel Sacris. Ang nakasign sa akin ay use of DNA profiling.
DNA profiling is a technique used to identify individuals based on their unique genetic makeup. It is widely used in forensic science for criminal investigations, exonerating the innocents and identifying remains. It also plays a role in paternity testing, immigration cases, medical research, and disease screening. In agriculture and wildfire conservation, it helps with the breeding and species identification. Additionally, it is used for ancestry tracing and biometric security. However, ethical concerns regarding privacy and data security highlight the need for proper regulations.
Name is Dan Clark P. Emperador. Ang naka-assign po sa akin ay discuss ko ay gene splicing. What is gene splicing? Have you ever wondered how our cells manage to produce so many different proteins from a relatively small number of genes? The answer lies in a process called gene splicing. Gene splicing is a crucial step in the journey from DNA to protein. It happens after the DNA is transcribed into precursor messenger RNA or pre-mRNA. This pre-mRNA contains both coding regions called exons and non-coding regions called introns. Imagine a big piece of text with important sentence and necessary paragraph. In gene splicing, the unnecessary paragraphs or introns are removed. The important sentence or exons are joined together to form a coherent message. This process is carried out by the complex molecular machine called the spliceosome, which is made up of proteins in small RNA molecules. The spliceosome recognizes specific sequences at the end of the introns and cuts them. At them join together, but here in the interesting part, the splicing can happen in different ways. For example, process called exons. Skipping can include or exclude certain exons, leading to different versions of the final mRNA. Another type is the introns retention, where the intron is not removed and becomes a part of final mRNA, which can change to protein structural alternative splicing. Allows a single gene to produce multiple proteins, each with different function. This is why humans with only about 20,000 to 25,000 genes can produce hundreds of thousands of different proteins. It's human of about 40 to 60% of genes undergo alternative splicing, which is vital for our physiology and can also play a role of disease if it goes wrong. So gene splicing is not just a simple cutting and pasting job. It is a sophisticated process that adds incredible versatility to our genetic code. This versatility is what allows cells to adapt and respond to different environments and conditions, making gene splicing an essential part of how life works at the molecular level.
This is David Bennett. In 2022, Bennett became the first living person to receive a genetically modified pig heart transplant. According to the University of Maryland School of Medicine, this is the world's first successful transplant of genetically modified pig heart into human patient. A team at the University of Maryland School of Medicine performed the surgery using a kidney with 10 edits of its genetic code from a pig. Sadly, Mr. Bennett developed a complications and died 2 months after the surgery. And this is Lawrence Fawcett. He is the second person in the world to take the genetically modified pig heart transplant, also performed at the University of Maryland. Mr. Fawcett received the transplant on September 20, 2023 and lived for nearly 6 weeks following the surgery. And on to the following year, March 16, 2024, Massachusetts General Hospital performed the first kidney transplant of a genetically modified pig kidney into a living person. This is Richard Slayman, the first human to receive a genetically modified pig kidney transplant. Sadly, he died about 2 months after the transplant, although doctors said the kidney was not the cause of his death. Recently, according to the Harvard Medical School, on January 25, 2025, the fourth genetically edited pig kidney transplant was a success. The patient, the fourth worldwide to receive a pig kidney, has been discharged from the hospital and the organ is working well. This results marks a progress in quest to alleviate acute human organ shortages and save lives using modified animal organs. That's all and thank you.